Wine?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
What's your favorite part about going to Rose?
Oh.
Cam, open door policy, and JJ. Still Cam.
The community, I really feel like I fit in like perfectly. Everyone gets me. Back home, I was like the oddball. So.
Just back home. The people here.
You're right, Cam. I'm still an oddball here. People just accept it more.
Yes.
Your team?
Okay, I'd say the people is what makes Rose Rose. It wouldn't be the same. It's not competitive. Everyone wants to, like, everyone else to succeed. It's like one big family.
Yeah, I really like the resources here. I feel like I can succeed even though I'm not like super duper smart. Yeah, and I fit in with a lot of different groups. Like, I can just scream across the lake to yell to someone and no one really blinks an eye. There's no like preppy, like too cool for school kids or very little. So it's like everyone's on the same level per se. So it's not like there's a lot of people that think they're better than others.
There are some.
There are some, but
Except Ashley. Ashley thinks she's better than
a lot less than other schools that I was looking at and know about.
We'll answer questions from earlier about the application process and like your suggestions.
How to apply.
Early action. Wait,
So I applied on the Common App. So that made it really easy if you're like applying to other schools. I didn't apply to many other schools, but they also use the Common App. But yeah, it was super easy. Do early action. Application comes out August 3rd, right? I think it comes out August 3rd, and it has to be in by November 1st.
Yeah, but that gives you full consideration for merit scholarships if you do early action. And also it's really, like for other schools too, but also it's really easy to just push it off and think that you'll do it later, like when school starts or whatnot. But then in reality, it gets way harder to do that, so work on it when you can, definitely.
And when writing your essays, don't forget, like, you may be trying to get into a technology school, but they also want to know about who you are. It's so easy for people to just write about academic successes. They also want to get a feel of who you are, what you like to do, kind of what has helped shape your life, stuff like that. I know a big thing any college is looking at is if you're going to fit into their community. So that's my little bit of guidance for all college essays.
Yeah. Like everyone's going to have academic success, so what makes you what makes you stand out from the crowd? Or what?
How would you describe the diversity of the students on campus?
We have 14% international students and then like 25% female students. It's going up though.
I would say the people here are really like open-minded and really diverse. We do celebrate like a bunch like traditional festivals from other countries. Like we do Chinese New Year, we do Indian New Year's, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and they're fun for everyone.
Yeah, and then like we have a center. It's called Diversity and Inclusive Center.
Center of Diversity and Inclusion.
Well, yeah, close enough.
Yeah.
I think Rose is really proud about the diversity of the campus, that kind of stuff. So.
I mean, I'm always looking for more of that. I want to know more about other people in other parts of the world, you know. I mean, as someone who hasn't like traveled very much. I lived on the gender inclusive floor in Sharp, so that was really cool. It was like by room instead of by the floor. So like I had one person next to me who was non-binary and used they, them, theirs pronouns. Like there's 2 gender inclusive bathrooms instead of, and then 1 male and 1 female. Like it was really great. Anyone who wants to be a part of that floor will be a part of that floor or hall. So they make everyone feel comfortable, which is awesome. There's also like an upperclassman GI floor or floor. I think apartments 1.
It's West 1.
West 1, best 1, right.
Yeah.
So they're making strides. Obviously not everyone here is as open, but we're always trying to get more of that.
And there's always a community.
Always a community, so. Oh yeah. And like, he's going to be that essay at Sharp, so.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Is there anyone in the car building club, and if so, could you talk about it?
I don't build cars, but I'm close to people that build cars. Wade was in it for a hot second.
I built cars. I couldn't do it anymore this year because
because I had way too much stuff to do. But they let me, someone who's never driven stick before, drive a bent.
Speak up.
Yeah.
Because there's no green around this. Once it's just
yeah.
you can't be heard.
Well, basically, we just take old cars and we build them up. Apparently, they can't hear me. That's fine. But like, we put a turbo in one of them, and I learned how to drive stick shift in that. And then we took it to a motocross, and we lit it on fire. So like, it like caught on fire. It just happened. So it's a fun. It's a fun time.
Success. The car burnt down again.
But there's a lot of car teams in the Bake and Kick if you want to be a part of them, so you can definitely join them through there.
Question. Yeah, question, please.
How was living in Terre Haute, Indiana?
Great.
Or is Rose, since it's a college campus, more, I think that's supposed to be isolated.
Okay, I can take this one. So, Rose, we do live in a bubble. It's called the Rose bubble, basically. So we have pub safe. You can pretty much tell who belongs on campus and who doesn't. So people that don't belong here don't come here. So it's super safe in that aspect. But when you do go out into town, it's like a small town, but it's not there's not nothing here. So I live in Kansas. And I come from suburbia. I don't know if you guys are from Indiana or wherever, but it's very much like Fishers. But yeah, so the only adjustment, they have everything you need. But if you want to go walk around Target for fun, you have to drive an hour.
There's no Target.
There's no Target. There's no Dick's Sporting Goods.
We have a Walmart.
And we have Meijer.
It's
And Kroger.
in Plainfield, the Target. Because that's
The city is not very financially up there, but that makes rent off campus really cheap. So in Ann Arbor, where I'm from, it's you're lucky to get $800 of rent a month. But here, I pay $450 for everything per month, utilities and electricity. That's utilities. So that's nice, because campus is more expensive if you don't have a housing scholarship. But there are 60% of students live on campus. There's lots of upperclassmen stuff like you saw in the tour, but it's just monetary issue. Just for me and for Ashley and for Vincent, we all live off campus. It's just
save some moolah.
Yeah,
and you get your own bathroom.
But it's fine. I enjoyed living in the res hall on campus. It's just cheaper, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, I just I don't know. I think it's good to separate your place where you sleep and the place where you study and do academics, because I kind of started as soon as I was in my room, my body just kind of assumed it's time to go to sleep. So I started studying in other places that weren't my room freshman year.
That is actually one thing that a lot of people suggest here at Rose, is that you actually find somewhere else to study that's not your room, and
it's super easy because
it's
there's
super
every
easy.
place.
You can walk
Basically
into the
anywhere.
classroom.
Yeah.
Just basically walk around campus and you will find a table that is free and you can study.
There's lots of different types of studying areas on campus. There's a quiet floor on the top of the library. There's different rooms you can reserve. There's just the complete open area of the middle of the union. It's really study rooms in the res halls, even the lobbies of the res halls.
You can go to an empty classroom until 12 a.m. All the academic buildings are open with your key card access. So you can just go find an empty classroom to go study in, have study groups there.
There should be a place for everyone. I don't want to say there's certainly a place for everyone in different studying habits, but there's
Library.
definitely a bunch. There's a bunch of options.
Yes, Terre Haute.
Yeah, Terre Haute's cool.
lots of places to eat. Lots of places to eat.
So it's not a thriving metropolis, but there's enough stuff to have fun.
Yeah.
And 3 Goodwills close by, so I thrift. So I don't buy real new clothes.
You're an hour and a half from Indianapolis, so if you ever need to go fancy dinners.
Yeah, but we have Indiana State, we have Wabash College, we got St. Mary of the Woods.
Not that you'd want to go there.
So that's all nearby. Other
Plainfield is an hour.
Okay, literally just shut up. Literally just shut up.
What?
It's easy to get isolated in the Rose bubble. If you want to experience Terre Haute, you need to make a little bit of an effort to do that. Because I mean, if you need food, it's here on campus.
Except for Saturday night dinners.
But then you go to floor dinner.
You can
And
use
you
your
can
volleyball.
Or find an upperclassman friend that spent way too much money on a meal plan, and then they'll give you meal swipes. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope that answered your questions and many things that were also not your question.
Is anybody involved in music or theater? Talk about it. There's children.
I was involved in theater my freshman year. I don't know exactly, I don't know who asked it or how much they want to know about it, but I know you put on usually 3 performances a year. It alternates between 2 musicals and a play and 2 plays and a musical. Rehearsals are just about every weeknight except for Mondays and Saturdays a little bit. It just depends. It depends on how close you are to the show. You know, it was a ton of fun. I enjoyed it. But it's also a very big time commitment, so keep that in mind. Like, make sure you know how to manage your time if you want to get involved in that specifically. Because I have rehearsals from like 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. just about every night sometimes. But that also depends on like where you are in the show, like how far in you are, how close you are to the actual show.
Why did you stop?
I stopped because I became a sophomore advisor in my sophomore year, so that took up a very large chunk of my time, and I wanted to be involved in my floor, and I didn't want to like leave them. So.
Why? When did you do it your junior year?
I could still do it my junior year.
I was trying to explain information.
Okay, well I haven't said that I'm not doing it, because I want to do it, and I still think I can. I'm hoping to do more this year, but I'm going to be an RA, so we'll see if that time works out. Hopefully I can, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Are there anything specifically you want to know about theater and or music? We also have choirs here.
Yeah, we're not done.
Yeah, go for it, Cody.
So I do like doing the theater things, but I can speak more to the choir, because I did not do theater this past year because of time. There are 3 choirs on campus. There's an a cappella group, there is a chamber choir, which is about 8 to 10 students, and then you've got your regular choir, which is just a regular choir setup, about 40 kids, and it really depends on what you want to do. You can find the specialization in there. Really, I enjoyed it. It's about 2 hours a week, and then you have a performance every quarter, so it's not crazy, but it is definitely a lot of fun. I suggest getting into that, if you are interested anyways.
Yeah, and then I play oboe in concert band, so that's again 1 night a week. That's like an hour and a half. So there's concert band, pep band, symphonic orchestra, and the good thing about Rose, the music here, is there's no audition process. So there are different levels for the different musicalities of everyone. Like symphonic orchestra has harder repertoire. And then also you can take band, at least just concert band is I'm going to say is for sure. I don't know about the other ones, but for credit. So I took band in the spring for 1 credit hour, which is cool.
You can also do that with the choirs.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, awesome. I wasn't sure, so I didn't want to speak on it.
No, yeah, you're good.
Any specific stuff about all that?
Or next Russian?
No, just kind of in general. I'm just interested in like singing, and I've done theater before, so.
So you guys talked about like the being in the show, but like are any of you in tech?
Let's freaking go. So I did work study tech, which was basically I had to do tech for work. It was absolutely fine. I enjoyed it. There's some really late nights though for some shows, but it was really cool because a lot of shows like tour through here as well. It's really surprising. Like the Russian ballet came through that we had to work. There's a magic show that was really cool that we had to work.
Talk about that.
Yeah, we had to sign a non-disclosure agreement for it, so we can't actually say any of the tricks.
Yeah.
Isn't that so cool?
We also had Dennis DeYoung come through. There was like an off-Broadway, or it was on Broadway, but like it was touring around musical that came here. So we actually had like a lot of shows lined up, and I got to work the behind-the-stage stuff with that. Faith did too. So it was pretty fun. But then she did tech backstage for performances.
So I did, like, as JJ said, all of the like touring shows. I also did the drama club tech. It's super easy to do. Like, you just kind of go to like one of the tech director or the just theater director and say that you want to do tech, you don't really I never went to a single drama club meeting, but I was in the show, so it was cool. And it's all like student-led, so there's a couple adults there, so a tech director, make sure shop safety so you're not getting hurt, and then it's pretty cool. But,
As long as you don't cut off your arm, you're okay.
Literally, that's the lowest level of what they want.
Okay. But cool. Also, the theater's relatively new. Like, their equipment is really up to date as well. So you're not working with like really crappy like 40-year-old PARs or whatever. You're actually working with like the new equipment. So it's pretty darn cool in there too.
And it was shown a little bit in the tour, but school instruments, there's lots of them. There's several accounts that we actually have people using the school instruments over their own instrument.
Tech theater, school instruments.
So like one of Wave's friend owns a trombone, and I think, but also prefers to use the school trombone. Is that not?
You asked about tech.
Okay, yeah, but I also wanted to include about like the instrument, like the niceness of the school instruments, because someone asked that last Q&A, so I just wanted to add
I got a
that.
techie thing that I found out.
Oh, go for it.
They just replaced all the mics, and so now they're the same ones they use on Broadway.
Oh,
Next question.
I got a question. It's like a two-parter. Alright, so if you don't want to answer the second part, I might be putting you on the spot, so don't be pressured, but I was gonna ask, what is like your favorite thing about Rose-Hulman? Or like what makes it special? What do you think makes it special? And the second part is, what is your least favorite thing or something that you'd like to change?
Easy. Favorite thing is the people and like the community here at Rose. It's actually really nice. And the worst thing that I would change is the food.
Yes.
I'm not the biggest fan.
Okay, sweet.
So I also want to comment on food because Bon Appetit is actually known and regarded as the best food provider for collegiate level nationally. So that's actually on record. So
Are we talking about the same one?
Cam, go.
Go. Okay, so my favorite thing, and I talked about, I kind of mentioned, but open door policy. So that just the fact that anyone can come in and you can hang out with them, or you can answer questions, you can do whatever you want, and that is fantastic. That is by far my favorite thing. So I just finished my homework at 2 in the morning, and I was about to go to bed, but then someone came by and hey, you want to play Ultimate Frisbee? And I was like, wow, why not? Absolutely. So I played for 3 hours. Until 5 in the morning, and then I got 3 hours of sleep, but I do not regret it one bit.
are you sure?
Yeah, no, I am absolutely.
Free, what about you?
Whoa,
My
yeah,
least favorite thing about Rose. Usually I have one just kind of in the back pocket. But
Scheduling.
no, I'm fine with scheduling personally.
How?
I haven't gotten screwed yet. So
I've gotten
that's
screwed.
Everyone has their grievances. Let Cam share his.
Well, let me share mine. So, the food is part of it. I would also agree the food's not fantastic, but it's not my least favorite thing, because usually I like myself a good panini. I was about to say ginger. But, no, come back to me.
Okay. So my favorite thing about Rose is probably I don't want to be lame and be like.
Well, okay, copier.
But the atmosphere, the vibe, it's pretty cool. I don't think it's like other schools. We're not competitive. We all help each other. There's the res halls. That's just not like anything else. We got a beautiful lake, great amenities and whatnot. I have 2 least favorite things. So one of them is random people on civils all the time, water plus dirt equals mud.
Oh my god.
Free, we're all joking.
Not the random people.
Everyone jokes about it.
No, actually.
But Bree doesn't like it.
Yeah, all their civils talk about it too. There's a little bit of shit thrown to civils. We're regarded as the least intelligent major.
Well, she is a civil. That's why she's standing up so much.
Okay. Anyway, my second is probably still the lack of representation of different cultures and diversity. Because I'm again
Remember how we just told them that we have.
I know it's good. It's making it there, but also I would love to see
We've
more.
come so far since 1995.
Yes, but still, like that's just like a vision of mine is to just have it more and even more open and more inclusive.
Is it your turn?
Pentagon.
I can go if you don't.
Okay, so besides all the people and then the open door policy thing, my favorite thing is probably the professors here. So the open door policy also applies to the professors. So if they're not in a class, in the meeting or something else, even not in their office hours, their door will always be open. Even if it's not open, they would tell you to knock on the door. And then they would be like, hey, yeah, come in, and whatever questions. And then if you just couldn't make it somehow, send them an email, and they would work around your schedule, and they would even stay after school to like answer questions or solve their problem, that kind of stuff. So that's my favorite thing. I mean, Rose is hard, but the professors would try their best to help you get through it. So, least favorite thing, food is gone. I would say.
Here, you go back to me. You can wait.
I
got one now.
You got
I got one. All right.
Oh, you go for it.
Okay, so I'm not gonna dress it up. The cost. The cost is definitely a big thing. Yeah, financial aid does help a lot. Like they'll help out with that. But like coming into college, I was like, I'm gonna go into debt. I might as well go into debt at a place I'm gonna enjoy it, right? So.
And get out with more money.
Yeah, and get out with a job, a family job. But yeah, definitely the cost. It's big boy thing that I'm not a fan of. And not much we can do there.
I think probably is like I went to high school in Georgia, and then I'm from the South Part, China, so I'm used to like the humid and then the hot that kind of weather. So my least favorite thing is probably in the winter. Because one time my friend from California asked me, he's like, dude, it's snowing so hard outside, can you drive me home? I was like, I don't think I'm any better than you, but sure. So that's probably my least favorite part.
Okay, so now I think it's my turn. I would say the people, but I have a different one. I'd say it's like how flexible like Rose is to like work with students to like do what they want. So like we have 43 minors, so like you basically can add a minor onto any major. You can double major pretty easily, but you could also be like an athlete at the same time and be super involved on campus. And the professors are super understanding that students are involved in things, and they want you to be involved, and they want to support students in that way. And then my least favorite thing, I know Bree's gonna yell at me, but it's when my laptop overheats, like when it runs all the software, and I open it up, and it's like blazing hot, and like won't run. But that's the only thing.
How do you get it to do that?
I don't know. I opened it after Kevin's time.
Yeah, okay.
I don't use solver, so.
Why are you looking at me? I didn't say so.
Actually, did yours do the thing where like all the fans turn on and it's super,
I think everyone.
Yeah.
Cody start.
Alright, so I mean, everyone's basically said it in one way or another. My favorite thing is the people, but I mean literally everyone, because the support system here for literally everything is amazing. We have essays in the freshman residence halls just for the purpose of like, we know that adjusting to college is hard. That is the whole job, and trying to make that a natural transition, make sure it's enjoyable and that you get something out of it. The professors, a big reason of why I came here is because my professor got excited about what I wanted to do. So I wanted to combine theater and engineering. I ended up in optical engineering, and that was honestly the greatest thing for me, because everywhere else that I went, everyone was like, you can maybe do that. And here I went and I talked to Dr. DeRee, who's the head of the physics department, and he was just like, oh man, that's an awesome idea. You could do this and this, and I was in heaven right there, because I was like, this is the first place that someone has actually cared about what I want to do. I would struggle with the least favorite part.
Well, you can think for a second. Optical engineering is actually one of the 6 accredited programs in the nation that we have here, and it's the only one out on the coast.
And Dr. Dree is the author of Optus for Dummies.
favorite
Well,
thing. I will give my least favorite thing to Wave.
My least favorite thing is scheduling, because they like to do this thing where they'll tell you have to take a class this quarter, and then they won't put enough spots for you to take that class.
Wow.
And then we all have to go there and be like, can you please add more spots? And then they'll add more spots, and it's like, why don't you just do this at the beginning? It makes me mad.
Big boy.
But you can still be able to take the class, generally.
Like, the register is amazing and they'll fix all the problems. But
Yeah, the register does a really good job of doing all that stuff.
They'll work with you if you need.
But again, it's the extra step, just annoying. It's a little stressful, because you gotta go as fast as possible. There's different
Everyone hacks that
softwares.
system, you know, with those like sticky keys.
Hotkeys. Sticky keys.
He's
Hotkeys.
no.
You like press a button and it fills it in for you. Sticky keys.
And it does the enter. I'm sorry, I don't code.
I won. Have you ever pressed like?
All right, next question, please.
Yeah, alright. I was just gonna ask a question. I'll just be honest. Like, where, like, what is the, what are the political leanings of the student body? So I'll ask. Say it like that.
Bro, I know. I don't even.
There's people over there, people over there.
It's everywhere.
It's different, but it is, I would think, conservative leaning. But again, there's those.
Because
you're
super left.
Yeah, so when you see one,
So
you
then
think.
when-
Way to out me, Jesus!
I'm sorry.
It's fine. So that's the thing. Is like Rose's population. Like no one really has like Rose does not specifically lean
Yeah.
one way or another.
Yeah.
Like no group of kids is like, oh yeah, we're all this. You know, like
Yeah,
there's so many different people that like we all have diverse opinions on that. So like I don't even think SGA leans a certain way or anything like that.
There's not like a Democratic Party of private engineers or a Republican Party of engineers.
No.
There's not that.
People are open-minded to anything that you want to discuss.
Most
if
people.
you can tell that they're not open to it, find someone else who is. It's not going to be that hard.
Or if you want to discuss with another person who does not share any views, then there's going to be someone on campus for you to do that if you wish.
Go ahead.
No, I finished.
I think it's all just about being respectful to one another and just remembering that everyone has differing beliefs no matter what. So as long as you're cool and they're cool, then it's all cool.
And there are also people like me who like just don't care about politics.
Yeah, no, I don't care what.
I think they're stupid.
Are you
Big
gonna-
bad.
Oh wait.
We're here to fix the world.
Yeah, I don't care.
But like engineering wise, not like.
Can you go?
Okay, wait. Amber
No,
had a
you
question.
just
I don't-
listen, yeah.
You want to
Yeah,
share
no,
Amber's
that's
question?
JJ said
We'll pay
it's-
attention. Talk to us.
In your experience, how are high school and college students different? Are college students as, I think, cliquey and fickle?
I think the big difference I saw from like high school to college was just the freedom that you have. Like students really are able to like let loose and kind of be themselves, which is really cool. Because like you're not kind of trapped down or at home or have to go see your parents every day. You can kind of be yourself, and I think that's really good for some people that get stuck in those like little cliques through high school. Like, oh, they're the theater kid or the jock or the smart kid, you know. But I think at Rose, like everyone's free to be themselves, and you know, I think that's just also what makes our community just better.
Yeah, again, we're not like every other school, so there are going to be schools, especially bigger schools, that are going to have those barriers. But here, yeah, it's pretty open, it's great. Like I was trying to say earlier, that there's not really like a superior group of people on campus. Like everyone's just here to do their thing, and half of the time you're just like doing work. So like, yeah, like I'm friends with the girls soccer team, with the guys soccer team, with my civils, with my floor, with these guys now. Like it's just a bunch of different people that you can be friends with and find people that are your types of people. Any other comment on that?
I feel like I'm friends with pretty much everyone. Like I don't have like problems with people. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you'll find people you fit in better with than others, so it's just finding your community, but everyone's pretty open. Like, you can talk to people without too much of a problem, so.
Yeah, there would be, like, you can always find someone to do something with you. Like, I can find a group of people who go rave with me, like, go to music festival, that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Again, I can also find a group of people who just go, like, you know, play
Chill.
soccer with me, or that kind of stuff. Because I don't play video games personally, I only play FIFA or 2K. So I can also find a group of people, group of people to do those stuff with me. So it's pretty open-minded.
Yeah. I mean, there are instances with your hall, like you get together and like do stuff, or you go to hall dinner, and there are people that do choose to just stay in their room, be secluded and whatnot, and that's okay. But you can tell when people also put in effort to make themselves open and stuff.
No,
So that was an issue for me. I was putting too much effort into other people, and they were not putting effort into me. And so when I finally realized that and really took a step back and reflected, then I stopped spending so much energy on other people.
We got that like
Oh, wait,
four.
are you trying to say something?
Yeah, I have a question.
Oh, okay.
Rip Emily.
Go for it.
Is anyone there from like a warm weather climate, like right here?
Where's right here?
What?
Where's
like
here?
U5.
Oh, I thought you meant like where he was.
Yeah.
Okay, like I said, I went to high school in Georgia, so like that's a super warm and humid place. Then I also live in like Shenzhen and Hong Kong, China, which is like another two like super humid and warm and hot place. So
Yeah.
so like I said, I don't like the winter weather, but it's bearable. Like I would say, it's not as bad as I expected. So
Yeah.
and
Just,
all
I
the
don't know.
go for
I'm in Pasadena and I get cold at around
it. Okay.
like 60, 65. And so like,
Right.
He's gonna be cold all year.
Oh, you don't like it.
Yeah, in Shenzhen, yeah, that's what we got as well. 50-ish, yeah.
All year.
Like,
And we have really good snow service, so they'll be out
Yeah.
6:30
I had
plowing.
I had 7 a.m. workouts during the winter, so I got to hike down to the SRC at like 6:30, and the snow was already cleared because they were out there at like 5 a.m. clearing all the snow.
and guess what? All the academic buildings are connected, so you're set for the day if you get into one.
Yeah.
It's in air conditioning.
You don't have to go outside, so
Yeah.
that's nice.
Is there any like one bit of advice you would give to a person like a freshman coming in? Like, what's one thing that you would
You want
say?
to go down the?
Yeah. I'd say learn or figure out how you study the best, because definitely study is the big move of getting through school, basically. And so if you can figure out what works best for you and like how you're able to do that, whether it's like with friends, without friends, you need like a silence. Once you figure that out, then like you will hopefully be okay in your classes.
I would say definitely balance is a really hard thing to achieve, but it's really important to know what you need and what you, because I know some people like come here and they like jump right into it and they're like people, school, sleep, food, whatever. But like sometimes you gotta take some time for yourself. So like whether that's just like some time to like sit down, take a break. Take a break is probably the biggest thing, because once you get here, you're gonna be overwhelmed with so much. So like taking some time for yourself is huge. So definitely, it's going to be a lot at once. Just take some time to take it all in.
My advice is actually for like rising juniors / rising seniors, actually study for your AP test, because those credits that you can earn will add up to a lot and will help you a lot to move forward. Because like a credit hour is $1,400 here times 4. That's like a humanities course or a regular course. So like that's gonna help a lot. I really would. That's my biggest regret in high school, is not doing as much as I could for those AP tests and exams. That's like my recommendation, is highly do that, because it's gonna add up. Like you won't have enough money to pay. Well, most people won't have enough money to pay for college already, and then that's just like, you know, it makes me angry and sad just thinking about it, you know?
I would say like figure out what your priority is, like specific timing. I would say like
Priority? Priority, okay. I just want to make sure I understood. Okay, priority.
So like during your finals week, if you need to study, that kind of stuff. Don't procrastinate and be proactive.
I'd say like my biggest advice is like don't be afraid to like put yourself out there, meet new people, try new things. This is like what?
Sorry.
It's like your like time for a fresh start, and to like get involved in stuff that you want to be involved in.
They can't see you.
Do it again. They can't read it, but.
So who's starting?
Alright, so I guess my big suggestion is try and don't be afraid to talk to people. Sometimes it's really hard to talk to a professor, but if you are okay talking to your professors, they really want to get to know you personally. I got to know my advisor, and he set me up with research by my second quarter here. So the opportunities will abound as long as you aren't afraid to be yourself and talk to people and just get to know people personally.
I want to have one.
Don't lie. That's a life lesson. Don't lie, because it's always going to bite you in the ass.
I want to have one.
Oh, yes.
I'm adding input here.
Best appearance.
Participate outside of class, like with IMs and other extracurriculars, because if you don't, it's going to be very boring, and you're only in college once.
Hopefully.
Do you go to like a lot of other restaurants near it, or do you meal pass?
We'll talk about a few things I think. I'll start with every week. So the Bowen doesn't serve dinners on Saturdays. So with your floor, you'll go out somewhere around Terre Haute and try out a bunch of different foods. I know I've tried a bunch of foods that I've never tried before. Like we have an Indian place called Taj Mahal. We have a Chinese buffet called E-Star Buffet. Umi, I haven't gone there for a floor dinner, but that's here.
Umi's really good. I love sushi.
It's sushi. But there's just a bunch of different places around Terre Haute. One of the most popular ones, I'll let someone else talk about it. Chava's.
Chavez.
I mean, yeah, Chavez is awesome. We had my floor had a thing called Midnight Chavez Run. We just always go on like Friday night, midnight, and go to Chavez to take a break from the entire week of school.
Yeah, it's mostly for the all road students at 12 o'clock.
It's a burrito place, by the way.
Yeah, it's one of the
ethnic
best
burritos.
Yeah, in town, honestly. So
Like an ethnic Chipotle.
Yeah.
My floor would take midnight trips to Chavez every week.
Yeah, so for people like me who didn't really have an idea what Mexican food is, I personally think it's pretty good.
What was the professors in the classes, do you think do you get a lot of lectures, and do they more talk at you, you know what I mean, or just kind of tell you a lot of information and you just kind of gotta, learn it?
Depends on the class. I'd say all professors are really interactive. If you can if they're if you ask them a question, they'll answer it. Some more than others. It's more formal. You got to raise your hand. I'm just really quick. One of my calc professor, he would tell us if you have a question, take a pencil and throw them at him at the front of the class, so then he'll pay attention to you and you can ask your question.
Dr. Tarrant?
Dr. Tarrant. I believe he meant it as a joke, but one time he threw a marker at a student. And then they threw it back, so they could ask him the question. Don't worry.
3 times in our class.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at Rose, there obviously are going to be very few burnt out old professors. But other than that, the professors are really great. And what I say on my tours is that they're here to teach. Purdue is really good for research facilities for professors, but here, and so they're some are more focused on research than actually teaching. But here at Rose, they're here to teach, and also there's not a literature publication quota, so it's not like they're spending, again, less time teaching and more time writing and making sure they have stuff put out to keep their tenure. Yeah, we got some really cool stories. Dr. Duree used to work for the Navy with lasers. Another one was a hacker or did some stuff for government stuff.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Again, and I don't even know a lot. I'm just a freshman, So
What's on it?
I'm going to go ahead and say this. If you have a question that's not explained well in class, go to office hours. Your professor will take another chance at, they will explain it for you. If you don't understand how they're explaining it, ask them to explain it a different way. And they're going to do that for you because that's what they're here to do. And I have not met a professor who was not excited to do that. So
I met one.
Dr. Leader.
Jeffrey Leader. He'll tell you to drop the class if he doesn't think that you're gonna make it. But
Big boy.
you just avoid him. That's the only advice.
Yeah, no
An example of the professors going out of their way is when we had to move online, all the calc professors for Calc 3 like did videos together, and one of the professors, a lot of the students in our in Butsky's class like had trouble understanding the concepts, so they like emailed him at like 11 p.m. at night here in like the Eastern time zone, and he worked like for like 2 or 3 hours on supplemental videos for us and like posted them for us, like basically reteaching the entire section.
Yeah.
Yeah, how are intramurals?
Oh! So good!
Steve, you want to step in?
Intramurals.
Dude, everyone does intramural.
Ultimate frisbee champion over here.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Res Hall make a team, every Res Hall, every Greek life, like frat or sorority, and then anyone else can make a team.
So for IMs here, basically the best part about them, in my opinion, is we have 3 different leagues: A, B, and C league. So A league's for the people that like are really good, and, like are just want to compete, like play as hard as they can. B league's more of the intermediate, and then C league's kind of just people that don't play a lot and can kind of just show up and have fun. So like I played in I think all 3 of the leagues, like with various things, and so they have like Res Hall leagues where the Res Halls play each other, which. The only thing I don't like about that is Lakeside's in it, and Lakeside's the upperclassmen, and it's kind of annoying, but it's still a lot of fun. So, like, I would just say it's only an hour a night, like 2 nights a week, if you play in both of the IMs they have. So, like, fall quarter we have flag football and indoor soccer. Winter is basketball and volleyball, and then spring is ultimate frisbee, and I think they're trying to change it to soccer. No, they took softball away.
But did you play it?
No. The fraternities played it this year because they didn't want it like removed, but all the residents all switched to indoor soccer because of all the rain and the fields getting rained out.
Okay.
So they switched to that, and I think they're considering switching it to handball even. So if you guys don't know what handball is, it's basically you have soccer goals and you throw a little handball, try to throw it in the soccer goal. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. So just I would say participate.
Yeah, so it's really inclusive for all different levels of competition. And like, I play varsity soccer here, so I can't play intramural soccer.
Which sucks.
Which sort of, I mean, but...
Well, that's better for everyone else.
Yeah, so it's, again, it's not like averagely better people playing.
Changing my name.
I just want to play.
But like, I would still go out with my res home and cheer them on, and it was so much fun, so... There's definitely a few hospital runs because of intramurals, but...
Wait, what? That's fine. It's
Maybe.
honest.
My SA broke a bone in his body and still played goalie in handball the next week.
Funny story, kind of. So we were playing Ultimate Frisbee against Lakeside. They were absolutely destroying us. It was literally the last throw of the game on their team, and someone threw it. And they called to their RA, who was like there to catch it. They said, teeth, like catch it with your teeth. And so he did. And he did not catch it. And he did, in fact, lose his 2 front teeth, though. Which was really funny. I was playing in August.
August. That sounds like him.
So,
I
yeah.
watched someone tear their ACL at Ultimate Frisbee because they jumped up and
You guys, why are you telling them this? They're not going to participate.
It's literally fine. It's better to be honest with you. Like, I'm not going to
you
sugarcoat the bad
determine how
things.
much you try in IM.
Like you can walk around or not play.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen our Liverpool
Out like arm.
31st Street?
So if you decide to catch a freaking frisbee speeding at you with your teeth, that's your choice. I'm sorry. Like I have my 2 teeth.
Tell us. I can make a noise.
Okay.
Anybody else? You'll get going.
Good.
Cody's dying in the corner.
What else you got?
Cody's painting a
I can ask about varsity sports.
Oh yeah,
You take my spot.
there's 3 athletes right here. We
Just
all-
3?
These
Bye.
I'm an athlete at
varsity
heart.
athletes.
I was at high school varsity.
Stop, not here, Vincent. Okay, so they both play soccer. I play softball. So what you want to know?
Like,
Football.
how did you organize or like figure out getting on the team? Like, were you recruit? Like,
Yeah. So basically,
I know.
wait. So what sport are you interested in?
And what's your grade?
I like playing soccer and basketball. I think basketball a little bit more.
That's fair.
Okay, so I would email the coach about your interest if you're interested in coming here, and that's kind of like how like if you're not on their radar right now, like that's how to get on their radar. We are D3, so we do have walk-ons, but there is normally like a good tryout process with that as well.
Yeah, like the guys soccer definitely like had a tryout, I guess, for people who weren't recruited to like come. But like the girls team didn't.
No.
Yeah.
We just walk on. There's also not a lot of us. But like how I got recruited is I emailed the coach.
Yeah.
So.
And then like invite them to see you play and whatnot.
My recruiting experience was a bit different because the coach emailed me, but like also like everyone's recruited differently and like everyone comes from different ways. Like I know last year my coach actually like looks at like there's like a survey that you fill out when you're applying to Rose. So sometimes coaches look at those and like reach out to students that way as well. But I would definitely email the coach and say you're interested in playing.
Yeah, like
I'm looking. You literally.
like I've been emailing like our soccer coach since my freshman year of high school. But it's better late than never. So I would try again. Putting yourself out there. The worst thing they can say is
You
no.
literally said why do wave. Breathe.
Where?
Don't see it. I emailed the coach at the end of my junior year, so you can still. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It also depends on each sport as well, but yeah, like I got recruited my senior year. I didn't know what Rose-Hulman was until that email, so.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask like how is balancing like a varsity sport with like academics and also like any other.
No, yeah, no, that was cool.
It's very doable because all the professors all the professors and coaches like understand that you're a student before an athlete.
All of them understand that we play a sport, but we're here to get an education. So, and you learn time management skills, especially from upperclassmen that have already done this. They can help you out. So it's not that bad. Plus, it's nice because you learn how to budget like time for yourself. Because like practices are like time for yourself, kind of thing. So it's really not that bad.
Yeah, I mean, my grades were definitely better in the winter than the fall when I had soccer. But that was also because I would just like hang out with Devin really late. But anyway, like with the soccer guys as friends.
So sometimes the professor, like if you have a game or something, the professors, you can schedule to take the test early or late in the testing center. My physics teacher like actually would ask us what time practice ends. Would ask us what time practice ends, and would schedule our study sessions around it. So like he had like study sessions for each test. So it was super nice, and I still see him around. He like asked me how my sport's going. So.
Joe Nathan?
Dr. Joe Nathan.
Oh, Joe Nathan! Okay, Anna, what sport are you thinking about, or are you just like curious about this stuff?
Swimming.
Oh yeah, swimming. You get to go to Florida for swimming. Fun fact. I get to go to Florida for softball too. We don't go.
Is there like a rival school?
Yes.
Purdue doesn't know it, but we have a rival with Purdue.
I hate Purdue.
It's just because it's a really big name engineering school that's huge.
I feel like everyone hates Hanover.
We did have a rivalry with a football rivalry, but then their team no longer exists.
Yeah, I mean, who cares about
Also, we
football?
won.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so it's pretty chill. The school does really good with balancing like the amount of athletics will impact on the students, the amount of social clubs that have the impact on the students, and the amount of Greek life that has the impact on students. So I think they balance it really well.
It's a nice puzzle.
It's there if you want to be a part of it, but it's not. There's no forcing. There's no peer pressure really.
Yep.